Humanity, I love you all with all my heart, with all my might. This is a message to you, as all messages, about love, about creation, about energy, about our infinite nature as infinite eternal creators, who we are, all of us. We, the citizens of the Republic of Planet Earth. We, the defenders and leaders of the Republic of Planet Earth, on Earth and outside Earth orbit. This is who we are. We are humanity. We're infinite, we're eternal. I want to talk to you about this idea, this concept that we humans have developed on Earth. This notion of reality and what reality represents and what reality means. So, as it is the case, we experience reality through ourselves, us, the individual, you, me. Each individual person experiences reality through their own experience, through their own eyes, through their senses, through their feelings, through their emotions, through their self-awareness, through their consciousness. I have spoken about this before in this video about you and who you are, us, each individual, each human. So what we are, who we are. So this one is an extension on it. This is an add-on about what reality is from our perspective, which is the only perspective because we see what exists through our eyes and our experiences, and then collectively make sense of it all as we all, through our own reality and our own experiences, come together in this collective experience, collective reality that we all have here on planet Earth, the Republic of Planet Earth. But it starts with us, with the individual, you, me, what we see with our eyes, what we do, what we think, what we feel, what we sense, our consciousness, our self-awareness. It starts with us. So let's start there. So let's start with this idea of what's order, the known, what's known, what we as individuals think as the known, order, what makes sense, making sense of things around us, subjects and objects, things that we see through our senses and experience. This is, we label things, we categorize things, we organize things hierarchically, we logically try to go about our days and have our habits and our things that we all do collectively and individually. And we call this order, this idea of what's known, what we understand as it is. I live in this house and that person is my neighbor and my top is blue and blah, blah, blah. So this idea, and this is my job, and this is what I do, and this is how I go about my days, and, etc. and so on. This notion that we essentially have organized into a ordered sequence of things that we're commonly, aware of. What's known, the known. And in a big way, if you think about it, that has to do with this idea of what you know about yourself. Because it's through you that you create order, you organize things. The order starts with you. It's you that set order into motion in your life by giving meaning to things and assigning values to objects and subjects. So you start to operate accordingly based on your understanding of who you are and your perception and perspective when you relate to others and things around you. once we have this notion, we humans are pretty good at filling the gaps and filling the blanks and doing these subconsciously, where we organize things in our day-to-day, and there are things that we just take for granted and other things that we're more focused about and things that, call our eye and our attention, and it goes on and on and on. But it's this notion of order, this notion of concreteness, this notion of tangible, solid things that you are in control of in a way, or you understand at least, and you are aware and you relate to and make sense of, and you are at peace with. Essentially, you can, allow you to have a stable life. Thus, order. So this is all of us, each of us individually has this notion, this first circle, this bubble around us of reality. Then that's not all of it, because remember, as I'll repeat that again, that's not all of it. That's just part of it, because we're infinite in nature. I have spoken about this many times in the past. Who we are, our heartbeat, the human heartbeat, the pulse of life, the pulse of creation. Our creator, the heart, with a heartbeat, creates this electromagnetic pulse, this electromagnetic field that creates life and electricity in the body, so we can exist, we can be alive, be self-aware, be conscious. And then we can feel and have emotions. So it's through the love and the actions that we take. So it's electricity, it's energy, who we are, love, action. So this is who we are. We're bigger than just these beings that observe and see ordered things and in an orderly manner. We're much bigger than that. When we expand our horizons and understand that we're much more than that, we're much more than just physical beings. We're energy beings materialized into the flesh through the DNA genome and the way it works. Then we start to realize that there is the non-unknown. There's something that we know exists, but is unknown to us from our perspective as individual. Remember, each of us build reality from our own set of eyes, our own set of perception, our existence, and we build up from there. That's how we build on. Starts with us. What we experience, what we see. But we know that there is something out there that we don't know. The known unknown. And this is the opposite of order, is disorder. Why is it disorder? Because we don't understand it. We don't grasp it. We don't fully comprehend it. We do not fully discern what it is. We don't really have knowledge of it. Our ledge is huge. It's our cliff, our misunderstanding and our not knowing is gigantic. So that creates disorder in our lives. Because once you step into the non-unknown, which essentially is what you don't know about yourself, then it's a massive disorder. Because you're not in control. Because you don't really know those things about you and the way you perceive things around you and the potential within you. So this is a beautiful idea, because once you start to break the boundaries and move away from order and step into disorder, then that's when the real transformation and change happens for you in reality, the way you perceive existence and the way it truly is. Why? Because what made sense in the past doesn't necessarily make sense anymore moving forward. Why? Because it's not enough. Reality doesn't make sense anymore the way it used to, because there are new boundaries, new things, new ideas, new perspective, new horizons. There is disorder that needs to be ordered. It needs to be organized. This disorganization needs to be harmonious. It needs to make sense in our reality. We need to understand what it is. We need to learn. We need to experience it. We need to sense it. We need to feel it. so we can make sense of it, so we can add meaning to it, we add value to it, so then it becomes the known and is ordered. But before being ordered is disordered. It's not something that you are comfortable with. And you need to learn, you need to explore. And this is our natural tendency, you see, because we're infinite in nature, we expand infinitely. So as we go in this idea, then what you understand as the non-unknown becomes the thing that you want to know. You expand your boundaries and your reality grows. And then you start to behave in ways in which you actually seek discomfort. You seek disorder, because as you start to understand that there are things you don't know about yourself, then you start to wonder, well, what else is there? Why am I feeling this way? What else is out there about me that I don't know, that is changing everything around me, the way I feel about things, the way I think about things, the way I operate and behave, because things don't make sense anymore the way they used to. So your paradigm, your mindset, your worldview changes because you step into a new boundary of unknown. And this is humility. You step into that side of you that you were afraid of, which is the unknown. What you don't know about yourself, your true potential, your real nature, who we are, infinite. We're infinite creators. This is who we are. Remember this very basic notion that I speak to you all the time about who we are, the heartbeat, the human heartbeat, the pulse of life, the pulse of creation. It's through the heartbeat that we exist. Without the heartbeat, we wouldn't exist. So it's the heartbeat that created us. The field of electromagnetic energy around us that gives us the current. So our brain functions, our nervous system functions, our organs function, our thoughts work. We are self-aware and conscious due to the heartbeat, pulse of creation. This is who we are. And how do we feel and what makes us human if it's not our consciousness, our self-awareness, our ability to think and feel and act on our feelings and emotions? What gives us that? The heart, which is the same one that gives us the heartbeat that created us in the first place. So that means that our nature itself is a nature of loving, because we love through our actions and we create through our actions. So this is all connected. Once you understand this very simple idea based on biological principles, objective reality, then you start to realize that you're much more than just the flesh. You're much more than just this being that goes about his day or her day or they day. Doesn't really matter. You're more than that. You're infinite in nature. You're electrical. Your infinite love, infinite creation. Your actions, your free will determine who you are. So once you're headed in this path, you're down this path of infinite eternal creation, as we actually are. Before, you didn't know that about yourself, but now you know it, then everything changes overnight. Your worldview, your paradigm, your systems of understanding, your set of values, beliefs, principles, everything, ethics, morals, everything that used to have meaning in your life doesn't necessarily have the same meaning anymore, because you understand that there is something deeper about yourself than what you used to know. And when you understand this idea, this disorder becomes the norm. Your life starts to change drastically, quite rapidly. Every day things change, because as you start to realize that you're infinite in nature, and there is no limits to who you are, and your infinite eternal capacity to create with love and action through your free will, then you start to realize that then you can actually do things that would have an impact in your day-to-day life that you couldn't or you weren't aware of before. So when you start to think about it in that way, then you start to do things that you didn't do before. And remember, actions define us. When you are what you do. So if you take actions that you didn't before, but you do that constantly because you're seeking, you're exploring, you're discovering who you are through self-awareness, self-love, understanding your identity and your true self, then you start to seek discomfort. You start to seek disorder, because this disorder would eventually become organized and ordered as you start to go through these boundaries. So this is a beautiful point, because we all humans naturally are led to this position in which we don't know about ourselves what we don't know about ourselves, but we have the free will to learn. And we start learning and exploring who we are, our identity and our true self, who we really are, why we here, our purpose. And we start to take actions and explore things differently and feel about things differently and express ourselves differently, which means that it changes you and it changes your what's known. And what you know about yourself is bigger now than what it used to be, because you're not going back to the former self, because your true self is your new self. The old self is this thing that wasn't aware of your true potential, your metamorphosis into an infinite self of creation and love. Compass. And it's through humility, being hummus, that allows us that mechanism to flourish and go on and 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 on to infinity, because this is who we are. We're infinite. It's just the way it is. So once you start to do these, there's no end to this discovery, this disorder. What you don't know about yourself, it becomes your day-to-day. You want to learn more and keep on going and exploring, because you feel good about who you are. And you want to keep on learning more, because it gives you a great sense of power, because you're taking action. You're proving true self. You're proving free will through your daily action. And this is a very powerful notion, because you don't want to go back to the old self. You want to keep on learning more about yourself. You want to know your potential, which is infinite creation, as suggested by your heartbeat, which is electrical. We're light beings. We're spherical light beings. We're infinite energy. We create through our actions, loving actions. With love behind our actions, we create wonderful things. We love our children so they become great adults. It's through that emotion that we raise them. Same with our creations, the passion and the love that we have for things that we do. If you are a writer, the books that you write. If you're a musician, the music you create, etc. and so on. It applies to all concepts and matters of life, because we are creators. We all have a heartbeat. This is who we are. We're loving creatures. We are a benevolent race. The human race is a benevolent race. We are the leaders and defenders of the Republic of planet Earth. All of us. This is who we are. We stare at the sun. We open our hearts. This is what we do. It's our nature. So we need to understand this idea so we can go beyond this boundary of the non-unknown. This reality is changing drastically. So once you know that, then you step into this new concept, which is the unknown unknown, the things that you don't know about yourself, meaning chaos, absolute chaos. Why? Because what you don't even dream of as possible about yourself. Think about that idea. I'll say it one more time. What you don't even dream of as possible about yourself. So you used to have this notion, this order, this known notion of like, oh, this is what I am, this is who I am, this is what I do. And then you moved into this disorderly idea of like expanding who you are infinitely and learning more and taking different actions and changing your reality and your perspective. And then you start to realize that, hey, wait a minute, if I keep on doing this, then I can fully transform who I am. And this is an infinite process. So if you think about it, then things you don't even dream of as possible about yourself. So things that today you don't even think are, you don't even know your potential. So this is a process that is chaotic, is total chaos. Why? Because you're truly learning about your nature, your limitless, infinite ability to be who you choose to be. Through your actions, loving daily action. Because you're infinite, eternal creators. This is who we are. You see, there is no limits to the human heart. There is no limit to the human potential. Because we're infinite in nature. This is who we are. Our actions define us. So if you're infinite energy, and you put love behind your actions, which is the way we create as human organisms, then as long as you keep taking action and learning about yourself, then you will be keeping doing things that you will never dream of before, because you didn't know who you were. But now that you know your identity and true self, the unknown eventually becomes the known. The chaos eventually becomes order. But you have to go through the motions. And this is only done through action. Free will, you need to take the actions, understand who you are. It starts with you, identity and true self. As a defender and a leader, the Republic of Planet Earth, it's your responsibility to take action. As a compass, it's your duty to take action. Be Hamas. Infinite eternal creator, this is who you are, this is your true nature. There's no end to you because you're infinite. Not only you, but all of us. This is who we are. So this is a message of love, a message of creation, a message of infinite creation and infinite love. All my messages are about the same theme. It's about the same ethos, love, creation, infinity, because this is who we are. We're infinite love, we're infinite creation. Why? Because of a heartbeat. The pulse of life, the pulse of creation, the electromagnetic pulse that creates the force field around us that gives us life so we can love and we can create through our actions and our free will. This is who we are. Staring at the sun, so we have the courage and the bravery to open our hearts and understand this very notion that we're electrical, we're infinite energy, just like our heartbeat and the sun and the earth. We are infinite. This is a message of love. I love you all with all my heart, with all my might. Humanity, I love you all with all my heart, with all my might. Understand that reality is infinite. I love you.